Welcome back everyone, and as you can see we have a brand new main screen here, and the reason for that is because Season 11 PTS has now come out here on August 31st. So we're going to get in here and then we're just going to look at some trucks. I'm not going to get into any type of driving around through the terrain or such. I don't want to give any spoilers away. I just want to kind of break down a little bit of what I found with these vehicles. Just a quick overview. I haven't spent a lot of time in them, just because I like to let the PTS run its course, and then I like to actually do my own testing whenever the live server comes about. So we'll be really interested to see what type of PTS changes come about here in the next month or so. But strap in guys, because Season 11 will be coming to live server soon. However, let's quickly look at both these vehicles that are currently on the PTS server. So with the new map being Scandinavia, it's going to be quite a good map, I feel, because, well, they introduced a lot of snow back to the region. Looks like a snow and mud map, so it's going to be really interesting to see. However, let's quickly dive in here and look at these two new scout vehicles. The first is the Neo Falcon 2000. And I'm just going to do a little preview here, kind of give you my overall thoughts. I did look into the files on some things, not a too big of an in-depth dive in here. I always wait for everything to drop on live server, but from what I've seen, it has around 50,000 torque. This is the same engine that's shared with the Jeep Renegade, and I believe the Scout 800. And I believe the weights are pretty much similar with this vehicle and the Renegade. Probably give or take a few pounds or kilograms here in some areas, but very, very similar. I'm probably expecting similar performance, being that they're light scouts. So if you've seen my 4x4 review on all those scout vehicles, I believe this is not going to be an outlier here in the scout class. It does get a race suspension here. It is found in the Scandinavia map in Northern Europe. It can get 38-inch tires and can get also the standard mud tires for scouts. Also, autonomous winch, we already knew that was coming. Switchable features, 38-inch tires, spare wheel on the back like most scouts can get. Also gets a pretty tall front-facing snorkel. We expected that as well. And then also gets a small roof rack with 300 repair, and then also 27 gallons of fuel. I'm not sure what that equates to in liters. Forgive me for not having those up. But yeah, this Scout looks like very similar to, I would say, the Jeep Renegade. We don't know yet if it can haul Scout trailers, because we all know the Jeep Renegade cannot haul Scout trailers. I don't think it even would be that good hauling Scout trailers, just because it's such a light vehicle, which this vehicle also looks pretty light. So I'm probably going to expect similar performance out of this one as I do the Jeep Renegade, but also things could change and I could be very wrong. But however, from just my overall experience with 4x4 very light scouts, that's kind of what I've found throughout them all. But anyways, it looks kind of cool. We'll get in here and look at some other stuff. Some customizations look pretty nice to add on here. Fenders. And let's check out these colors. This is what I really like to see, the color schemes. Okay, so I'm not too impressed with the color schemes. I actually kind of like this one. This one's not bad. But also the solid colors still do look good, because you have that black accent line going across the vehicle. So yeah, I think, yeah, it still look like a pretty good vehicle, good looking vehicle, I believe. All right, so now I want to move on to probably one of the most interesting vehicles that's going to come out here in this PTS. Unless they add another vehicle here after the game drops on live server, which is a possibility. Saber is known to do that. They have done that, so that could be expected. However, the BURLAK 6x6 looks quite different than most scouts. As you can see, it's a 6x6, very large tires, has its own exclusive engine, no other engine options, sadly. However, it does have 80,000 torque on this engine, so it does have some power. It only has B+ rating of power to weight, because I believe it weighs around 4,000 kilograms, if that's in the files. I believe that's what I saw when I looked. I don't have the numbers for US tons. I don't convert those, and also I don't add wheel weights. I never have whenever I've done vehicle calculations. Sorry, can't speak today. And anyways, let's move forward here. Stock gearbox, I'm not sure what this entails. This could actually be a different type of custom gearbox. As we've seen lately with vehicles coming out, Sabre has been giving kind of different gearboxes to the new vehicles coming out, like with the Mack Defense and other trucks like that, having these different type of gear ratios, gears, and also low gears as well. So this could be similar to maybe an advanced special or even an off-road gearbox, even though it says stock. But who knows? We'll probably see. I need to actually unlock this vehicle and test it out. It does have a high-range gearbox. We all know what that means. And there's really only one other vehicle, I believe, in the Scout class that can get a high-range gearbox, and that is the Lodestar, because it has truck gearboxes. So I would probably expect this to have some ability to move very quickly through some deep mud, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Stock suspension, doesn't really need it because it has 69-inch tires, and they do have some pretty good coatings. I believe it's body friction, which I believe translates to dirt friction, or is at 3.3 rating. Pretty darn good. And then the, I think, surface friction, I believe, or substance friction is actually 2.2, which makes these tires pretty darn good. But who knows, they could change. And I think the width on the tires right now are 0.79, which pretty wide for a Scout vehicle, especially you know, the other ones in the class. So I believe this is going to be a very, very good vehicle to go through some harsh situations here in Season 11, and probably all the seasons that have already come about. Standard winches, autonomous winch is going to be always great. So has the switchable features, kind of expected that. High sitting snorkels as well for any type of crossings. Kind of looks cool. It's flush almost, but it's kind of blocking the mirror. So we'll see how any type of first person view affects that. So that's something to look at later. This is kind of cool. I really think this vehicle could be in step with the Ford F-750 being kind of a crossover Scout vehicle where it could haul some cargo and potentially have a crane on this little back step right here. So I'm kind of thinking it can mount this crane and then have a flatbed, but also with that flatbed it has these repair points that are probably sitting in here. So really it's going to be, and then who knows, it could actually haul a regular size trailer, or even if it does allow it to haul a Scout fuel or Scout trailer period, that's 2 pieces of cargo that it can pull, and I believe it will pull it well because it's a rather heavy Scout. It does have this safety cage as well, and then the slant back trunk kit, which gives it 150 repair points, 1 spare wheel, and 27 gallons of fuel. And I believe it's going to have pretty darn good range, having 69-inch tires. And I also think with the high range gearbox, or even the normal gearbox in there, the standard, I think it's going to do pretty well with range. I don't see a lot of Scouts burning a ton of fuel, other than like the Lodestar and some other trucks like that. But anyways, y'all, I think that's pretty much it for the glance over on these trucks. I do feel that this one's going to be probably the biggest surprise. When I looked at its weight, it looked like all the weight, that whole 4,000 kilograms, are completely in its chassis. So, you know, being a taller sitting truck that almost looks like it has a very tall silhouette, that was something I was concerned with just getting my first looks on here. I'm like, how is this vehicle going to handle going over terrain, going over bumps? I want to see the suspension react to terrain hitting it, and how it reacts, and where its weight is going to throw around. So those are all things that we're going to test here. But also the main testing will, like I said before, will all come about when the actual server drops. But anyways, guys, that's a quick overlook on these 2 vehicles. You might be able to expect another vehicle from Sabre maybe after the live server drops, or maybe a little after that as well. So who knows? Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. And as always, God bless and stay upright.